So I've rewritten this intro a few times because it's hard to convey through words how good this manga is without sounding ironic. So I'm just going to say that if my wife becomes an elementary school student, stays true to the source material, this could be one of the best animes of fall 2024. And I say that 100% unironically. Hearing me say that, people who don't know what the show is about immediately think that I'm weird, so I want to preface by saying this. The manga has zero fan service, zero uncomfortable scenes, and I don't know if it will translate in the show, but after reading the manga, it is an amazing story with no creepy scenes. I stand by saying that if the title was different, this would be a very popular manga and the hype around the anime adaptation would be crazy. You don't have to take my word for it either. Mal reviewers gave the manga a 7.5 out of 10, and Studio Signpost are animating it. They have a great track record doing the last 3 seasons of Kingdom and animating one of my favorite animes, My First Friend, which might get its own video someday. So now that that's out of the way, just like with all my videos, spoilers of course. The manga jumps right in with Kisuke Nijima eating microwave dinners with his daughter Mai Nijima. Food is surprisingly important in this series, so keep that in mind. Kisuke answers the door to Marika Shiraishi, an elementary school student, who reveals that in her past life, she was Take Nijima, Kisuke's wife. Both Mai and Kisuke are stunned, but after talking, Marika is able to prove that she is telling the truth. Marika makes the manga a lighthearted read. She's written with comedic relief in mind. What could be a depressing, weird read turns into a fun slice of life. The next day, Kisuke eats a bento given to him by Marika, and we flash back to a scene involving Take and Kisuke's past. They're talking about the bentos she makes, and she promises to keep making them for him. But the next panel shows Take's casket. Then back home, Mai is sobbing and Kisuke is miserable. He walks into the kitchen telling himself he'll never be able to enjoy her food again. Coming back to the present, Kisuke is in tears as he eats the bento, and the next time he sees Marika, he breaks down and hugs her while sobbing. He professes how much he misses her, but this makes Marika sad. She wanted to be remembered, but also wanted her family to move on. After a few chapters of the family being reunited, cracks start to shine through, and the series takes a dark turn. The second volume begins with Chika Shiraishi, Marika's mom, in a drunken fit of rage. She rips through Marika's room, angry at her for stealing change off the coffee table. The only thing able to stop her is the ring of her phone, and her demeanor instantly changes to a calm, yet passive-aggressive woman. This is the first sign of trouble. With her mom being home, Marika won't be able to visit her true family as often, but she still makes it happen. By this point in the story, multiple story arcs are happening at once. Konomi Maria, a co-worker of Kisuke, has shown interest with him and has started going with him places. Mai has also started going past her comfort zones, going on dates, and out with friends. Though the first guy she goes out with is a drunkard, and after saying he would drive home drunk, Mai punches him in the face, sharing that Take, her mother, died in a car accident. Mai moves on and meets Renji, a boy Mai relates to, being that Renji is also familiar with loss. So the story continues with the usual slice of life tropes. A school festival and a summer vacation which Marika spends with the Nijimas because her parents are too obsessed with their own lives. Volume 4 starts with the Nijimas along with Marika visiting Take's parents' home. We're introduced to Take's mother, who is struggling with dementia. Marika breaks down crying, apologizing to her mom for dying before her. Though because of her dementia, her mother mentions nothing of what happened and simply says it's okay. So the Nijimas, along with Marika, enjoy the meal. The story continues with characters continuing to move on. Mai goes out with Renji, and there's even some redemption in Chika's character. She goes out and buys new clothes for Marika, but she only did so Marika could meet her boyfriend. Volume 4 ends on a cliffhanger. Chika introduces the idea of moving. Marika panics. Moving would stop her from seeing the Nijima family. Marika breaks the news to the Nijimas, who sigh with relief, surprising Marika. Kisuke says, as long as we can still meet, it will be fine, compared to being separated by death. A few chapters later, Chika, Hiroki, and Marika were going to go to the amusement park as a family, but Hiroki is late, and after a message from him, Chika, visibly upset, announces that they're going to go home. On the way home, Chika spots Hiroki with a girl and a young boy. It's his family. He was using Chika to mess around. So after seeing this, the two of them go home for the night. Marika goes to her room. Chika curses Hiroki, standing in the dirty living room with rage consuming her. She punches the ground, throwing things around the room. Then when the rage is gone, emptiness fills her body. She falls to the ground. Everything would be better if I disappear, she says aloud. Marika, noticing Chika's state, does what she seems best to cheer her up. She cooks. She makes a beautiful omelet. But it's not enough. Chika disowns her, saying that the food only makes her madder. But she succumbs to the pressure. She sits and tries the omelet once more. Marika, Take's food brings tears to another person's eyes. In some much needed good news, Mai and Renji start dating. In just 30 chapters, Mai's development is pretty much complete. She went from this depressed girl still suffering from the consequences of losing her mother to a girl with a job she enjoys, friends, and now a boyfriend. Volume 5 ends on a cliffhanger. Chika, after Marika wasn't going home, goes out looking for them and spots her with the Nijimas. Chika follows them and confronts Marika about it. Chika demands answers, but Kizuki intervenes. Realizing that they're in the wrong, Mai and Kizuki back off, with Chika going back home with Marika. Seeing Marika having fun with what she believes were strangers enrages her. After yelling, she asks one more time what Marika was doing with the strangers and raises her hand. She winds her hand back, but soon falls, and she goes to her room for the night, asking, "Are you really my daughter?" She lays in bed the rest of the night. Waking up, she pictures Marika living happily with the Nojimas. She slams her hand on the bed, defeated. A day later, Chika and Kizuki meet in the street, both demanding answers from each other. Kizuki throws out the idea of Marika living with them, which is met with anger from Chika. Though Kizuki scolds Chika, showing how bad of a parent she is. The two part ways, and Chika resorts to drinking at home alone in the dark. The questions replay in her head. Do you think you're qualified to be a parent? Scenarios of her past play. Chika was abused by her mom. She had things thrown at her, she was yelled at. There was even an event where punches were thrown from both sides and windows were broken. Chika continues remembering, then she realizes that she's making Marika go through the same thing. Marika and Chika talk. Chika once again demands answers, but Marika stays quiet, causing Chika to explode. "Go live with the other family then," she screams and slams the door. The next day, Marika has a mask on, and after an emotional meeting with Kizuki, she passes out from a fever. Chika is close by, and the three of them go into her house. Kizuki apologizes for saying everything that he did, and soon after leaves. After Marika recovers, she meets with the Nijimas and announces she is planning to tell Chika the truth about her reincarnation. So the four of them meet together at Chika's house. They break the news, and obviously Chika is in disbelief. But after remembering the past year of events with her daughter, she starts to believe it. She remembers the omelet. She can't believe it. They negotiate the next step, and Chika has two options. Let Marika go live with her true family, or keep Marika for herself and improve their lives. She chooses to keep Marika for herself, vowing to make this second chance worth it. Right here, we are only halfway through the story, so if you want to experience the rest for yourself, go and read it. I binge read the thing in 2 days, and I'm looking forward to the anime release. I'm going to jump to the ending. In the chapters we skipped over, every major character we've mentioned up until now, except Renji, knows about Take's reincarnation, and the characters have come to terms with Take leaving. We learn that Take is only possessing the body of Marika, and wasn't reincarnated at all. This subsequently is taking the life of a young girl, and Take can't stand it. So Take wants to leave as soon as possible, but not before everything is dealt with. Mai's moved on, soon to be marrying Renji. That leaves Take with only one last regret, Kizuki. If Take can get him to move on, then Take can pass into the afterlife and return Marika's body back to her own, thus ending the story, and that's what happens. Kizuki and Moria announce their plans to marry, but Mai doesn't take the news too well. She becomes enraged at the two of them. If they get married, the mom will be gone forever. Mai and Kizuki have one more talk about Take, and eventually they meet one last time before Maria and Kizuki's wedding. They go to the amusement park, and Maria and Kizuki are sitting on the bench, looking out onto the lake, and he pulls out a ring and asks her to marry him, putting an end to all of this. Everyone has moved on, and Take is able to give back Marika's body. However, it was all a setup for Take to be freed. After faking the proposal, and Take returning Marika's body to her own, Kizuki tells Mai it was all a way to have Take be put to rest. Everyone's story arc is settled. It leaves no questions unanswered. In the epilogue, we see 5 years later, Moria has moved on and is now married to another man. Marika is enjoying her life as a high schooler. Chika revisits the old shop she worked at. Mai and Renji have happily been married and have a kid. And finally, Kizuki is enjoying life, picking up all sorts of new hobbies and spending time with his grandchildren. It's an amazing finish to the story, but because of the title, most people won't be able to enjoy it. So I urge you to go read the manga or watch the show when it comes out. The title is terrible, I will admit, but the story beneath the surface is one of a kind. It deals with loss, depression, moving on, abuse, family trouble, everything, all encapsulated in this one manga about a man's wife who turned into an elementary schooler. This has been ZJ Anime. Thank you.